All right, rundown. First of the week, September 26th. Jeff D. Lowe, Rico, Tommy Smokes. This rundown brought to you by Rocky Boots. So we should be wearing today. We're going to look like bums not wearing our Rocky boots. Over 85 years, Rocky's been building the world's most rugged boots and apparel. From the job site to the campfire, Rocky boots and clothing are built tough and very comfortable. You wear them everywhere. Dress them up, dress them down. Now Rocky's introducing Work Smart, rugged outdoor workwear that is more comfortable than anything out there. Whether you're a working man, just like comfortable, manly clothes, try Work Smart and see how comfortable workwear can be for you. Rocky, rugged outdoor heritage since 1932, almost 100 years. 10 years, maybe 100
checks
years.
out 90 years, some would say.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah.
Go to Rocky Boots, behind me, ROCKY.com, and enter code RUNDOWN.
I'm going to get myself a nice pair of Rocky boots this winter. I always
25% off
go
right
sneakers.
now.
You need a pair of boots.
I go sneakers throughout the winter. If it snows, I get all the ice, all the cold right down my ankles. I need some
Yeah.
Rocky boots.
Yeah, get some new boots, and it's shoes you get in the winter, and you can enjoy wearing them in the winter because they're made for. All right, NFL. Big NFL week. Seemed like every team was coming in 1-1, basically. I think we only have 3 undefeated teams remaining, pending Monday Night Football tonight. The Giants.
New York Giants.
Yeah, Giants fans here. Sunday night game was horrible. Jimmy Garoppolo had a walk out of the back of the end zone safety. It was not an Orlovsky. It was like an 8-step drop out of the back of the end zone.
It was Orlovsky-esque.
What's worse? That's my question to you. What was worse?
Orlovsky's
Orlovsky's
close.
to go and still think he was in it. But
I mean, he kept like this one was. I'm almost a little surprised.
The whistles were blowing for Orlovsky, and he was like, "No, you're wrong." Like, but what was crazy, and they said it on the broadcast too, was this was a lucky safety. Like this helped because the result of the play
Bradley
was a
Chubb
big six.
did pick it off and bring it into the end zone pretty easily, but didn't matter. Somehow, Nathaniel Hackett, who might be the worst head coach in the history of the NFL,
really
is
is.
2-1.
They're averaging 14 points a game. They suck.
If you're a Bronco fan and you came into the season with so much hope, gave Russell Wilson $250 million, got a new young offensive head coach, I feel like you already have to we got to pull the plug on this whole operation. Yeah. Nathaniel Hackett, you almost have to just fire. You just got to be like, all right, he's not the guy.
Russell Wilson doesn't look great. My overreaction from the weekend, which probably isn't an overreaction, that AFC West that we said was so great, like none of it looks great. Now I trust the Chiefs long term, but they lost to the Colts. The Raiders can't buy a win, and the Chargers look like shit if Herbert's going to be hurt.
Yeah, we'll talk about the Chiefs-Colts next. Colts were not a traditional no wins after 2 weeks. They were 0-1-1. They get their first win of the year. People thought they were a legit AFC title contender. I guess maybe now they're at 500 or whatever it counts with a tie. But they get their first win at home against the Chiefs. That's always impressive. Defense looked good finally. Offense scored some points. I wouldn't say anything world-beating.
Chiefs for
they
sure.
won late.
Chiefs for sure could have won that game too.
Yeah, Kelsey dropped a possible. I mean, every time that game came on Red Zone, Matt Ryan was getting sacked or fumbling. I don't know how. The Colts are, I think, the hardest team to handicap every week. Like none of their lines.
They're still the favorite.
Ever
They're
make
still
sense.
a favorite in that division.
Yeah, the Jaguars.
No.
Oh, you're talking legitimately on the books.
Yeah, legitimately.
Yeah.
Still the favorite.
I think the Jaguars are legit.
I do
LaShawn
too.
McCoy tweeted about Eric Bieniemy, said he knows nothing. All he does is yell at players, know nothing about passing or play calling, which is like an oddly interesting thing to think about because everyone says he's going to get a job.
And he never
year after
does.
year. Yeah, he doesn't.
They got into it. I'm pretty positive. Bieniemy and Mahomes on the sideline.
Yeah, it was a bit of an ugly scene. I mean, this is one of those ones where I feel like if you're a Chiefs fan, you're not happy you lost, but it's one of those like, all right, let's reset things a little bit. Cooler heads will prevail. Mahomes is Mahomes. Mahomes still one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. I saw the chart of elite quarterbacks.
How about the
top tier?
How about the play he had where he was spinning and just threw it backwards? Do we have that one? He's unbelievable. He just makes a play every day that's like insane.
He is still nuts. I do think the Tyreek Hill loss obviously has hurt them quite a bit. I mean, Tyreek Hill's fucking unbelievable. Yeah. But Colts finally get that win. Matt Ryan. I'm still not very convinced in the Colts.
No. I mean, their defense is legit. Jonathan Taylor hasn't done too much to start the season. But whoever, I think we're looking at 8 wins maybe from that division winner. 9 tops.
Right, so the Colts are still in it. But
Which is, yeah.
They're not going to do any. We thought they were a Super Bowl contender. That was probably premature. I think they're just a nice team. Maybe they'll make the playoffs. I've going back and forth. I do still kind of think they stink. So I guess the Colts.
We'll see it.
I think their ceiling is like wild card. Their ceiling is like wild card weekend.
A lot of young talent. We'll talk about the Jaguars in a second. Bills.
Their ceiling is that 1 o'clock Saturday
Yeah, of course.
wild
It's
card
the
game
It's the old Texans
at
Bowl.
home
Yeah.
where they lose.
When the
To
Texans-
Andy Dalton and the Bengals.
The Texans were in that
somehow.
for like 5 years.
NBC.
Yeah.
The Texans were in that for 5 years. It felt like.
Texans Bengals every year.
Yeah, pretty much.
Bills and Dolphins 2-0 going into the day. Crazy game. Bills outgained the shit out of the Dolphins. Still ended up losing.
285 yards.
Dolphins
Outgained them by 285 yards.
Dolphins were so opportunistic. The heat played a factor. Our esteemed colleague Frank the Tank said a few weeks ago when he went to the Dolphins-Pats game, he's noted that Patriots players were way overheated. That clearly played a factor. Tua got hurt, said it was some sort of back injury. People blame me, I think maybe the heat, but now there's an investigation. Did he just come back from a concussion too early? There was a butt punt.
Yes.
Butt punt was pretty funny.
Yeah, it has to be the first team to ever have a butt punt safety and win. You know, like you have a play like that, you lose the game 10 times out of 10.
Think of it
Like
this
the Mark
way.
Sanchez butt fumble, they lost, 40 points? You have
Yeah.
a play like this, and you still win, that's hard.
If I was going to describe to you that you're a Dolphins fan, you were going to get outgained by 285 yards, you were going to run 53 or something less plays than the Bills, which is what they did. The Bills ran 90 offensive plays, and you were going to punt the ball into your own teammate's asshole and still win. What percentage would you put that at? 1?
We were an inch away from him just kicking his ass, literally.
Yes.
And that would have been
That
all time.
bad.
That would have been. Maybe they lose though, because maybe it gets dropped and it's just a touchdown.
Right, they
Yeah,
just pick
so,
it up.
That would have been bad.
And then Ken Dorsey, which I didn't realize.
Here's a question. What's the more
I didn't know what
embarrassing
was happening.
safety? Jimmy G or the butt punt? What's the worst safety?
Oh, Jimmy G.
I don't know. The visual
There's
of
this
the butt
kind of,
punt
yeah, I
is
mean,
so
more
funny.
embarrassing is that one, more,
Funnier is the butt punt's
like
funnier.
more forgivable though, weirdly, is the butt punt.
Yeah.
But for me, I think the punter has so much.
Because
less-
so much had to go wrong, and
Right.
he had nowhere to go. They
Jimmy
really-
G is
like,
way more of like a
He was up against it in the end zone. There was nowhere for him to go
Jimmy
back.
G had more room though. Like he had more room to make that embarrassing. Where like the butt punt, you are pinned deep.
Yeah.
You got your guys protect. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. Jimmy G's also happened on an end racism sign, which made the visual even funnier.
Orlovsky did tweet, by the way. He said I liked Orlovsky tweet, but he said like freedom, but like you're still gonna get clowned for that, Dan Orlovsky. Like,
Yeah.
It's not going away.
More people probably were like, "What is he talking about?" And then saw the clip for the first time. Oh, what a fucking
Yeah,
idiot
yeah.
Dan Orlovsky is.
A whole new way. Age of-
I've been a bit of a Tariq. I don't think Tarico's a big game voice announcer. I
Me
just
neither.
don't. I think Sunday Night Football's lost a lot of it. Get out of here, Che. Fuck out of here.
Does Che and Mike Tirico stay?
Who knows?
Monday Night Football is so much better now with a big voice on it, whether you like Buck or not, whatever. Point
They
being,
gave out a prop,
he
though.
was laughing very hard, and I did enjoy that.
Yeah.
He was like, oh, it's Orlovsky. I thought that was a good call by him. He
Get
was
to
right on it.
Dorsey stole the show.
Ken Dorsey, though, at
He's
the
my-
end.
he's
Didn't
my-
realize it was Ken Dorsey. I love Ken Dorsey. I always
Well,
think
no,
about
no.
his baggy sleeves.
You
and
know who
Miami.
Ken Dorsey is, but he totally looks different.
He does, yeah, but I just didn't realize it was him at the time. Ken Dorsey had an all-time freak out. Josh Allen and the Bills. Isaiah McKenzie didn't get out of bounds. The Bills are not able to clock the ball and kick a field goal that they could have won the game.
This is after the Bills fucked it up at the half too and didn't run a play correctly.
Oh, I thought it was at the end of the game.
That is at the end of the game.
Oh, okay,
But
okay.
Yeah,
the Bills also fucked up at halftime. So
Oh,
their
okay.
clock
Yeah,
management.
so this was the end of the game. Ken Dorsey throws his hat, slams the book, starts crumpling papers, and then almost like it was choreographed, smashes the CBS camera that was on him in the
now
coach's booth. Yeah.
There's two thoughts of process here. Does he smash the camera? Because I don't think he does. I think that's a calculated cover. They don't want the camera on him anymore. Watch
Oh,
the hand.
oh, it is
Look
the
at the
hand.
hand.
Oh,
It's a hand.
Good call.
Yeah, it's
Good
not
I
even
catch.
didn't
smash.
realize
Oh,
that. That's a great call.
Coming from a
That's not Dorsey's hand.
from
You
a
wanna cover up
rage
a freak
guy.
out.
Coming from a rage guy, I knew he had some help. Yeah, and then he gives an all-time soundbite at the end when he's like, "Yeah, I like to think I'm not a full psychopath." I mean,
I think that was from a couple weeks
That was
ago.
a couple weeks ago.
There was like Josh Allen called him a
And then he, like-
psychopath.
and then he
Best way to
kinda-
prove you're not a
yeah.
psychopath is to have a freak out like
I
that.
thought that was because that came out right after.
Yeah, I think it was just like a takes exposed.
I thought they made him go into the press conference.
It's just
No,
funny, Dorsey.
Oh, really?
like,
That's weird.
when you think of Ken Dorsey, you think of like dopey, mild man, or great like legend, college football legend, with the big baggy white sleeves under his jersey. Like he just looked so. It was crazy to see.
I actually think this is a good loss for the Bills. If you can have a good loss, like this might do more good for them where everybody's been sucking off the Bills. Oh, they're going to go undefeated. They're unstoppable. A loss like this, divisional opponent, road game, respectable loss. But, Josh Allen, like, they almost got a little – I mean, I guess Josh Allen – what do you think happened before the half? Do you think Josh Allen just dropped it and was like, I don't have time to spike it? Or do you think he – all right. So
I don't think that was designed.
That wasn't designed. They were just trying to
right before that play where they couldn't get out of bounds, Allen just threw a ground ball at a guy who was wide open on the sideline.
Yes.
So
they were without a lot of guys yesterday.
Yeah, what it goes to show, everybody's human. Because the Bucs are human, the Packers are human. We saw that in Week 1.
They have big injury issues right now, the Bills.
Yeah, I still think they're probably the best.
No, I still think they are, for sure, the best in the AFC. I mean, you're right. I agree, Tommy. I think it's probably
wake-up call loss.
Yeah. So that was Chiefs and Colts. Ravens, Pats. Lamar looked pretty damn good.
Future Giant.
5 touched.
He's going to get judged. Yeah, he's basically doing the judge.
Yeah, he's
betting on himself.
One of the greatest contract years ever so far.
I think they're the best team in the AFC North by a lot. They're tied with the Browns now, but I just think the Browns defense is terrible. Mac Jones threw 3 picks and then hurt his leg badly. And then when he's getting carried off the field, had a brutal photo taken of him. Where he's grimacing in pain. Jerry Thornton blogged about it. Dave quote tweeted it saying, "This is injury porn. Delete this." Tough.
Listen, Bailey Zappi is a hell of a player. That's all I'm going to say.
Bailey Zappi will not be playing, though. It's going to be Brian Hoyer.
But Zappi will be dressed.
Yeah.
Moves him up the chart. You can't go from third string.
How many was Bailey like 80 touchdowns
without
last
going
year?
to second string? 70, I think. 64.
What, Mac Jones, guy, not the guy?
He didn't look like it yesterday. I think he's adequate. I don't think he's a star. And that puts you in a crazy spot in the NFL, like with a guy like Daniel Jones. We saw it forever with Carson Palmer. Like, you're in that flux of like, well, the devil we know is better than the devil we don't know, and we don't have a top draft pick, and we can't tank, and just kind of where you are. The next game on there is the Vikings. I mean, Kirk Cousins is in that. He's okay, but
we know what Kirk Cousins.
We'll get to the Vikings in a second.
Yeah, fair enough.
I have a Vikings thought, which I feel like it's not even that hot of a take. Eagles blew out the Commanders. Scored all 24 points in the first half. Didn't score anything in the second half, but that game was never a doubt.
I'm worried about the Eagles.
Intern Colin walked past Smitty and goes, Super Bowl. And Smitty's like, yeah. Like, they're already crowning themselves.
I don't think. Who did they beat?
They look great.
They beat
the Lions tight. They beat the shit out of the Vikings, and then they beat the shit out of the Commanders.
Lions defense very clearly not good. I don't think the Vikings are good at all. I don't think the Commanders are good. So I'm not saying the Eagles are. I'm not like jumping on the Eagles as the best team in the NFC.
Well, we're gonna find out because now
they played 3 bad teams.
They got a big test game against a team who's better than we think is the Jaguars.
Yeah.
So this will be finally like a test to see. That's a compelling game.
But I do think the Eagles are like top 3 in the NFC right now, like for sure. I'm not anointing them the top.
I think the NFC is really down. I really do.
It's Packers, Bucks, Rams, and Eagles. One of those 4, and it'll be the Bills or Chiefs in the AFC. I think we could pretty much pinpoint.
But they look at the Commanders.
And Ravens.
Wentz got sacked 9 fucking times. He's just a disaster. They did see the fan called the Commandalorian, though. He's like the Mandalorian, but he's a Commanders fan.
Brilliant.
Let's make sure we throw up the Eagles on screen. And I'm not saying make fun of this guy. I just like the Commandalorian.
The Eagles sent somebody to go stand and hold up the gate while Hurts walked past too. Like, Commanders, it's just a joke.
I'm a big fan of the Commandalorian. There he is, the Commandalorian. I'm a big fan of the Commandalorian.
It's pretty good.
It's good stuff.
He's my favorite.
Is that a gun?
Fan. Yeah, it's the Mandalorian's gun. I feel like he probably didn't bring that in the game.
I would hope not.
They're probably like, no, can't bring that in. I mean, it's a fake weapon from a Star Wars galaxy, so I don't know. Maybe they did.
You never know.
Lions,
Actually
Vikings.
getting flagged and arrested to enter the stadium, and then you got to sit in jail over the fucking weekend wearing the fucking Commandalorian outfit.
It's like Vikings outscored the Lions 14-0 in the 4th.
When they're charting your stuff, anything to take, stuffed fucking Yoda. It's like the beginning of Blues Brothers when you get all his
Yoda.
stuff back. Yeah, exactly.
One disintegration.
One pair of sunglasses. Yeah, it's fucking.
Lions missed a field goal at the end. Vikings drove down for a game-winning touchdown. Dan Campbell said he regretted trying to kick the field goal, not going for it. That seems like a constant in the NFL. Lions are 1-2, Vikings 2. I think the Vikings are not good. I think they
thought they could
mediocre Lions.
Listen, I thought they could win the North. I still think they could be okay, but I don't think
they're the
Justin
Vikings.
Jefferson's been shut down 2 weeks in a row too.
Yeah. They're the Vikings. Like, I think they are exactly. They might win 9 games. They might. I mean, they can make the playoffs because 7 teams, but they're not going to Super Bowl. they'll pick around 18th.
What they
that
needed,
will be the Vikings
yeah,
season.
what they needed was the Packers to get another loss today, or sorry, yesterday against the Bucs, which they didn't get, because the Vikings did beat the Packers head-to-head. So I do think the Vikings can be pesky, but you're right, Cousins. Listen, you just got to play Sunday at 1 o'clock.
That now feels
that
more
primetime game was really, really bad. It was like
that feels more like a fluky Week 1 game now.
yes,
Rodgers,
100%, 100%.
Texans, Bears won. They're now 2-1. Though I believe I just watched a part of my take clip. I don't think Big Cat thinks they're very good. Justin Fields 8 of 17 for 106 yards, 2 picks. I'm a Fields guy. That's tough to defend that. But Khalil Herbert looked good for them. He came in and replaced Dave Montgomery. Bears are 2-1.
Yeah, I mean, if the Giants win tonight, which is a significant if, it'd be maybe the worst 3-0 versus 2-1 showdown of all time. Giants versus Bears, like.
Texans
I don't know.
0-2-1. Stephen Shea had them winning the South. Thumbs up or down on the Texans.
He doesn't know anything. He gave out a rushing prop and said, "Keep the faith," and the guy needed.
All right, we're not. I'm not.
90% of his yards.
When did you become such an anti-Stephen Shea guy?
Yeah,
I'm not an anti-Stephen Shea guy. It's just he's costing me money.
I'm not anti-Shea. I disagree with the Mike Rico thing. But you were very anti-Shea at our stream the other night during
What
Browns
prop
Steelers.
are you talking about?
Singletary's yards for the Bills.
That's my cousin. Let's not talk shit about them in Singletary. He's legitimately my cousin.
Okay,
so
right.
do not talk shit about cousin.
Okay, no problem. I don't know. Shea can't be swayed. He's in his opinion, and he won't change it. It's been a little tough the first couple of weeks. I'm still a big Stephen Shea guy. I like him a lot.
I'll have him come on.
But it's like stone. He's a stone wall sometimes.
Scroll down to the Bucks game. We'll just have him because he's here. Skip ahead Bucks. We'll jump back up.
You won't bend on. We're like, this prop's dead. You're like, hold the faith. It's like Steve. He's got 6
this
yards
guy
in
the
third
fucking
quarter.
second quarter is like, oh, we're dead. We're dead. We needed 10 yards in that first quarter. Like, it has to be an even pace throughout, and if it's not, then he can't handle it.
He'll bounce back next week.
I kind of think I side with Shea on that one. I know second quarter.
Listen, it wasn't trending well, but listen.
Like I told him,
He
we
just
were dead in the game
it's
2
him.
weeks ago, but that was the fourth quarter.
I
One
also
drive
he's really high on the Jets. I was on the Jets win total under. We were clashing over the summer, so like it's all respectful, just butting heads. And he sat next to me during my roulette heater, so
Okay,
props.
Jets should be 0-3 too. It's all our fucking.
Yeah, they should.
Fuck that shit.
I've actually suspended myself for the rest of the month. No more picks.
Really?
Yeah, I've been bad.
Wow. Okay, that's good. That's
I just
But next week
Responsible
is
gambling.
a new month.
correct.
Yeah, but all right. So you're not betting them?
I'm not betting tonight. No.
Fine. So
Betting
give
Thursday.
you.
Okay.
And Thursday.
You should still give me what you were gonna bet because you're gonna go on a heater.
Maybe, but we'll see in October.
quickly.
What would be your favorite prop tonight?
He said he's not picking tonight.
Spend it.
He's gonna go on a heater. That's always how
Would
it
you
works.
fire the Buccaneers jumbotron guy? Aaron Rodgers noted.
absolutely not.
Buccaneers, Packers won 14-12. Exciting game despite like low scoring points. Had a nice big game feel to it. Bucks did not get the 2-point conversion at the end. They had a delay game, but Aaron Rodgers noted he saw something on the jumbotron that tipped them off. You would not fire the jumbotron guy?
No, I mean, it's all assumption. We don't know exactly what he saw. It seems like he saw maybe like hand signals or like motions or mouthing of Tom Brady saying a specific play or some type of verbiage that would indicate what the play is going to be. It's also tough because when it was the 2-point conversion from the 2-yard line, it looked like they tried to hike it and they were going to run the ball. From the 7-yard line, they obviously did not do that. So he would have had to get that information and relay it very, very quickly. I don't know if that's fully possible at that moment. He could have been talking about a different play.
I was thinking the same. I was like, how could that possibly be on the 2-point conversion to that fast, get it to the coach, then get it into the defense?
Embellish it a
Maybe
little
he's just
bit?
trolling. Aaron Rodgers kind of just likes to troll.
He did smile at the end. He had a big smirk when
Yeah.
he said it. So I don't know if he's like fucking around.
That
Like,
would
getting
be
people in hot water at their jobs
He's
sounds
friends
like a
with
real great
Glennie.
guy.
Anyone friends with Glennie and Caleb? They might be up to hijinks. Yeah, he had a big smirk at the end. Worried about the Bucks? Thumbs up, thumbs down.
Thumbs up. I mean,
Okay.
Mike Evans was suspended.
You have a
They were
tough
missing their
schedule.
Top 3 receivers. Russell
this
Gage
one.
was limping during the final drive. He got like 5 or 6. Like they're gonna be fine.
Pull up the
Of course
Bucs
I would have liked to win the. This is our hardest schedule. We play Kansas City on Sunday. If we make it out of, I said it before, if we make it out of September 2-2 or the first 4 weeks 2-2, I would have been okay with that. Ideally 3-1, but you know we're in a
You got
fine spot.
the Chiefs next.
Best defense in the league.
You got the Falcons. Great, easy. Steelers, easy win.
Falcons
Panthers,
not easy.
Panthers,
I'm putting
Falcons are pesky.
Putting the Falcons on
I'm
not that bad
Then
watch.
Ravens,
I'm not.
Rams.
Ravens good, Rams good, Seahawks bad.
Don't the Saints always
You got to
beat
come to
them?
Cleveland in November.
Don't the Saints
good.
always
As if
Yeah.
your
beat
quarterback
11,
hasn't played in the
12
cold weather his whole fucking
Bengals
life.
late,
Browns defense is
Cardinals
terrible.
late? It's not the easiest. That's all
Yeah,
I'll say.
no, the NFC South is not good.
We are about to be out of the meat of our schedule, so I feel
The NFC South is not.
Oh, they'll clinch NFC
let's
South by, like,
let's rapid
Thanksgiving.
fire the rest of the NFL here, just because there's a lot of it. Raiders, Titans. Raiders only 0-3 team in the league. Titans won the last second 2-point conversion, did not convert. Battle of Will Compton's teams.
Having Derek Carr passing over touchdown props has been a grind for the last couple of weeks. He got it yesterday, but they should have won that game.
Bengals get back on track
Yeah,
a little
Jets
bit.
suck.
But they play the Jets. I mean, the Jets are, again, they should be fucking over.
I still think the Jets are going to be worse with Zach Wilson. That's my take. I'll die on that hill.
I had the under on team wins. Jerry and I talk about under on team wins for Bengals all year. I still feel good about that.
What was the line?
Right, 9. Yeah,
Oh, I like
9.5.
that under. I mean, we talked about this
No,
because
9, I think it closed on this
I
one.
bet against them every week in the playoffs last year. I don't think they're that good.
No,
I
they
said
got-
they remind me a little bit of the Giant teams where Eli went on those amazing runs. They
Right.
won the 2 Super Bowls. Joe Burrow was great. The rest of the years they won in the Super Bowl, they just didn't make the playoffs
Yeah.
with
They
like
got
a
some-
couple exceptions.
You're not sneaking up on anybody now.
Nice players on defense.
Right.
Like, remember Dave put a lot of money on them against the Ravens and was like, I'm watching this team. I think they can sneak up. You don't sneak up on people in year 2 after
No.
being a Super
No,
Bowl
no,
runner-up.
no.
That's where
Burrow
they're
made a
at
lot of
now.
mistakes last year. He's still a good player. Makes great throws. Still makes mistakes. Chase and Higgins are great. Mixon, I mean,
Yeah.
but I just think then they still are avoiding injury luck. Like, it's crazy. Like, that team just doesn't
Yeah.
get injured.
Cardinals are cooked.
Saints and Panthers. Saints are the worst team in the NFL. That's my take.
Really bad.
I think the Saints are the worst team in football. I actually think
Yeah,
it's-
they're really bad. The Jets are really bad, and the Texans are really bad. But the Saints are also not
Seahawks are
like
really
so not compelling.
Baker
Yeah, I want nothing to do with the Saints.
might be the worst starting quarterback in the NFL right now.
He's so bad.
Yeah,
he's
I
so
saw
bad.
he's
already
right now,
such an idiot.
Right now, success rate, he's 33 out of all the quarterbacks because of Cooper Rush playing.
Yeah, he's
it's bad.
he
Well, I
like
think Garoppolo and Trey Lance
Or it's
qualify
one of the
too.
other one. Yeah, but he's 33.
Something like that.
even a
But
game
he-
they
he gets
win.
pushed down.
Look at that. Also, I mean, this came out Friday. The fact that the Panthers were giving plays away. Where it's
Yeah.
like if McCaffrey was lined up,
Lined up,
a line,
alignment.
Baker
yard
is
back.
less of a problem than Matt Rule is. Matt Rule is awful.
But yeah,
He was a darling hire too. Like
Yeah.
it's crazy how quick you could decide that the guy's not the guy, and he's not the guy. So
I also blame Baker a little bit for that. I think as the starting
Yeah.
quarterback, you have to maybe realize, oh, this is happening. Like, do you think Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers would ever let that happen?
No.
Like, clearly be given away? Like, it's more Matt Rule's fault, 100%. But
Baker.
Baker,
I think the Falcons are going to finish with a better. I had a lunch bet with Ev. I thought the Falcons are going to finish with a better record than the Panthers.
I could see that.
Oh,
And
I
the
would say
Those
Falcons
teams
Falcons
are bad.
fight, dude. Mariota
yeah.
fights. They got
Drake
like,
London is awesome.
yeah, they got young guys who want to prove themselves.
Jaguars beat the piss out of the Chargers. Chargers are a wreck right now. Bosa got hurt. Herbert played hurt the whole game.
yeah, and they left him in though.
Rashawn Slater's out for the season now. The right tackle. Like it was a disaster yesterday.
Brandon Staley might be the worst coach in football.
He's
I-
I don't think he's the worst. He's a doofus though.
He fucked up week 18 last year versus the Raiders.
Yeah.
This year, like, their play calling's never good. Leaving Justin Herbert in yesterday, the full game,
It was
is
almost like Herbert.
mind-boggling.
It was almost like Herbert pissed them off. Like, no, sit
Right.
out there and take your beating. Like, it was really weird.
And their team known for not handling like rib injuries well anyway. Remember they
Crazy.
ejected Tyrod Taylor with like the raw bad.
the Mets and
Our resident Chargers friend Ken Jack said he said today that the media went after Staley in LA and they were like we're finally like because he deserved it like
Yeah.
stupid shit. Rams Cardinals weird, oddly not that exciting game for two pretty explosive teams. But
Cardinals are cooked.
you think they're cooked? Oh, I'm sorry. I
Pretty
for some reason
much.
thought you said Rams for a second. Yeah, I think Cardinals are cooked too. Rams own the Cardinals bad, big time. Falcons beat the Seahawks. They got their first win of the year. You guys don't think they're that bad? I could see it, I guess. They do some stupid shit though. They're not like
they're at least, if they're going to be bad, they're at least kind of interesting. to
they're.
watch.
I think
They move the football.
The frisky word is good with them.
Yeah.
They are. Seahawks a little bit. Geno Smith trademarking that phrase that he had after that first win.
Well, oh, they wrote me out, but I didn't write back.
Yeah.
I didn't write
Listen,
back.
it's good.
Yeah, I like it.
Good line.
We were talking about Packers Bucks. Browns won on Thursday night. They should be 3-0, but I also think they're that good. Giants Cowboys tonight.
Big one.
They went for Danny Dimes.
Big one.
0-8. prime
Actually,
time.
not really. Not really, because like it hasn't really been good, and they're 2-0. So
He,
Yeah, but getting to the playoffs would be a success with this team. Then you start building and
Yeah.
building. So
I am worried they're going to end up going like 7-10, 8-9, miss the playoffs, and miss out on a top pick, and then we're stuck with Daniel Jones.
that is a horror scenario. That's a
And
nightmare.
it's seeming
scenario.
quite likely.
Because that's basically what happened to the Browns last year. They ended up trading for a quarterback. People forget they traded for a QB.
Why isn't he playing?
Brissett looking good though.
Lamar, future
Bad boy.
But that's a nightmare scenario.
Yeah. I like Saquon over receiving yards, 23.5.
I have that tonight too as well.
Yeah.
I also
feel like
have
Mika
Davis
Parsons
Mills
going to be a
first
lot of
scorer.
pressure,
I heard he's
dump
not-
You
offs.
say
heard-
Mika?
Micah.
Micah.
Oh, I said Mika, like the character from
Micah,
Euro
whatever.
Trip.
Smoke. Certified.
I'm gonna start calling him Mika Parsons.
Euro Trip's an underrated film
Yeah.
too. I also love saying film to your people, and they get really mad.
My people.
Movie people,
What?
they get really mad. When a non-movie guy says film.
Talkie. I like talkies.
Over 3.5 field goals.
I heard you
tonight,
talking
too.
about that tonight. I like that a lot.
Plus money.
Graham Gano, I feel like he gets that by himself almost every game.
Last football thing, NFL-wise, Rihanna performing the Super Bowl halftime show. Apple Music, or Apple, is sponsoring the halftime show now. Pepsi used to sponsor it. Rumors that because of the switch, Taylor Swift might be performing. Not happening. Tommy went on TMZ to discuss
Oh yeah, I want to get on
why
that show.
you thought she didn't deserve it.
Very easy.
Greer went on. Yeah, I want to get on.
So
It is very easy.
I wanna get on.
You get on TMZ, by the way. we
So
found
for
out.
my next, well, yeah, I guess I'll say it. For my next smoke show episode, I'm trying to get canceled. Getting canceled is like rocket fuel for people's career. It helps tremendously. So I need to get canceled so that I could have my fans rally around me. And I'm trying to find a good group to get canceled by. They sent me the topics. Like TMZ sent me a crazy list of topics. It was like this, Kanye parenting, a Bob Saget fundraiser.
What?
And the Brett Favre Welfare Fund. And I was like, you know what, Swifties seemed like the easiest
Yeah.
one. So I went
You
on.
want to do the one?
Yeah, they're like, hey, you got 20 seconds, give your take. But what happened is, it was supposed to be, the take was that, yeah, it was supposed to be like, she was going to be performing. About 30 seconds before they throw to me, Harvey Levin gets a text that she's not performing. So I had to scramble on the fly and just be like, oh yeah, it's good that she's not performing. Called her out for being gluten-free, probably. Got to offend as many groups as possible. So if you're watching, you know any Swiftie fans, get this video in front of their eyes.
Are
I'm
you
looking for
sitting
the
next
smoke.
to Kelly Keegs?
Yeah,
Has
she quote retweeted
thrown
me.
anything at you yet?
Yeah, I'm trying to get. I gotta find a good group to get mad at me, and the Swifties could be.
Oh, they're dangerous.
If not, BTS is a good one.
Ooh,
K-pop.
that's a good one. Yeah,
They
yeah,
might
yeah.
ruin your life, though.
Perfect. That's what I'm looking for.
It's a good one. College football, we can rip through college football. Actually, there's some decent games. Tennessee looks legit.
good ones. Yeah, it's more fun when Tennessee is good. It's also good when Florida's good, obviously.
And the Hooker's Heisman candidate.
100%. I said, like, take a look at him at 40-1. He jumped to 14. What percent? This is the question. We'll probably cover in Pick Central more, but what percentage would you put Tennessee to beat Alabama?
Oof, low.
Yeah, like I said, maybe like 15%.
But higher than
But I think that
most
that's
other SEC
yeah, exactly. Like that's something to be optimistic about. All you can ask for is a 15% chance to beat Alabama. I think it could be a shootout. It's gonna be very entertaining.
I have one
Florida,
question
get them
about
out
that
of the
game.
top 25.
Why?
Well, that's the SEC. That's why they rank them. That's how they
Arkansas,
do it.
get them out of the top 25.
That's how they do it.
How did Caleb and Theo Vaughn end up dumping Gatorade on the Tennessee head
Caleb
coach?
just is one of those dudes that
Just cool attracts cool.
Caleb and Theo Vaughn, after the biggest win Tennessee's had in probably a decade, doused the head coach. I don't think they had field passes. I think they snuck down. That was like a Looney Tunes turn where they had to like build back up the speed.
they revved them.
Like little dust coming up from their feet. How pissed do you think Hyper was? I wonder if anyone got mad at them.
he's just got
Yeah.
he's got cool guys.
Cool guy.
Is Theo Vaughn gonna do a Sunday conversation?
He did one last year, I think.
Yeah, he's done one already.
Yeah, right.
So they were
Is
looking
Theo Vaughn a
for
Tennessee
Josh
guy? or-
Heupel. Yeah, I think
He's from Louisiana, I'm pretty sure.
okay.
Went
he
to
is a
LSU,
Tennessee
but he's a
fan.
Tennessee fan?
Interesting.
Okay, strange.
They gave him a very clean Gatorade bath.
He don't even flinch.
No, not at all.
And did they run past him?
They couldn't find him.
Oh, that's what it was.
They went too quick. I think they expected him to kind of dart to the other side to shake Napier's hand, but no. So they kind of missed him initially, and they found him. I honestly, the way they were running, I thought they'd never find him. I was like, oh, they missed their chance, and they got him perfectly.
Yeah.
Clemson, Wake Forest, a crazy game.
Why is Caleb on the sidelines for that? He's just
Caleb.
one of those dudes.
That's what he wants.
Barstool College Football Show.
I'm not
It was-
saying he
it was
should
very
be.
No,
good.
no, I know. It's just
He's
crazy.
just one of those dudes. Like tomorrow he'll be
Saucer
somewhere
was
else.
there, PFT, Big T.
Yep.
Big T, no voice today.
No, Big T sounds like his voice box been ripped out.
I've been there.
Good for him, though. Clemson wins in double overtime. Clemson now top 10 matchup. Clemson NC State. Big matchup for a bunch of meaningless people who. It's not a contest. There's a lot of Clemson and NC State fans in the back of our office.
Well, I know about Quiggs. Quiggs is
versus
NC
Youngstown
State
Bob.
super fan.
Yeah, people know that. Quiggs versus Youngstown Bob.
Youngstown Bob's a Clemson?
Yeah, that's weird.
That's weird.
And he gets clowned routinely by Quiggs about it, yeah.
Okay, that's weird.
Bob's parents went to South Carolina.
Got it.
Bob's a Clemson fan. Also Browns fan.
So wait, that's not an excuse.
You're not helping what you
And the
just said he
Cardinals.
went to South Carolina, so why would he be a Clemson?
His family did. I don't know.
But his family went to South Carolina.
But he went
the
to
game
South
I
Carolina.
believe that's
Jeff.
what Quiggs clowns him over. I'm not saying he's a legit.
Whatever.
He says he's a legit fan. Quiggs says he's not.
I usually take a lap over there. I'll get the scoop and report back tomorrow.
Careful,
Arkansas-
pussy back there.
Arkansas top 10 team for a while. I didn't think they were. Brandon Walker
Nah,
very
they're
much didn't.
Fake SEC.
They lose. They had a field goal to take the lead that hit the top of the upright.
Miami got
Crazy.
run.
Yeah, Miami got destroyed by Middle Tennessee State. Kansas State once again beat Oklahoma.
Well, so that's my question. I blogged about it today. Click it, keep me alive. The Big 12 is not going to have a playoff team, I don't think.
No.
But I do think it's going to be the most compelling race down the stretch.
Maybe.
In terms of what?
By you saying they don't have a
Like,
playoff team, I'm
think-
not.
all right, put it this way: as a casual college football fan, right?
That's even a stretch, but yeah.
Okay, fair. You pretty much know who's
Florida
going
big win
to.
this past weekend. I heard.
No, they almost beat Ohio.
lost to Ohio.
59-52. But to score 52 points on a
I saw a quote
for
sheet
sure.
and it said "Great call, Jack Mack," and I kept scrolling. I just assumed they won. Okay.
Like the
No, they
the Big
covered, I
the Big
assume.
Ten is pretty much going to be Ohio State,
State.
maybe Michigan if you think so, and then the sacrificial lamb on the other side, which might be Minnesota. Minnesota can't really win. His team might sneak up, but that's it, right? The SEC is Bama, Georgia, maybe Tennessee, and Tennessee's a distant third. Like, so that conference is set up. The Big 12, while it doesn't have like the premier true national championship contender, every week is like an elimination game. Like, for perfect example, Texas Tech and Kansas State play this week. One of them is guaranteed to have a loss. Texas and Oklahoma each already have one. They play each other in a couple weeks. One of them's guaranteed to have two. Like, I just
You're
think
talking
it's-
about most interesting race just for the conference.
straight
title.
up conference title
Oh, okay.
championship race is going to be very compelling. Every week is like they're going to knock each other off. It's going to come down to these wacky tiebreakers.
I just think though, for me, for other casual football fans, I care about the playoff race. You know, I'm not being like, oh, who's going to win the Big 12 title unless it means they're also getting in the playoffs.
fair. That's fair.
You mentioned Texas. They
But the
lost.
college
in
football
Lubbock.
playoff is the same routine of
Yeah, I
teams.
mean, it's going to be
you know what
three
I
of the
mean?
same.
Yeah,
four
it's
teams.
just
It always is.
to me it's interesting.
Texas lost in Lubbock. Dana Beers is
All
on his
time.
tour, going to these colleges.
That's
picking-
what I care about. This
Lenny
college
got
football
added to the
season.
tour. Lenny's on the tour with Dana now. And they stormed the field, and Dana ran up to Bevo and cheerleaders and hit him with the horns down. At all time, horns
So
down.
this didn't come out first. The video came out first.
Yeah.
Also, give me that picture again, full. Look at
selfie,
that. Look at that burn. Dana mixing a little SPF, buddy.
Dana's got a West Texas burn on his shoulders. Yeah.
But the video came out first, which is very funny. But the alternate angle here is awesome.
Yeah, I had not seen the angle till today of him
Till
actually.
today, it finally
horns down.
surfaced.
It's an all-time horns down. As an Austinite
He goes
myself, I
back.
do not like
Yeah.
Texas. I love
It looked
throwing
like
horns down.
It looked like he was going to go past him and then realized, oh, I can clown him. Let me do it, and he missed the opportunity.
I'm not a big tech guy, but horns down all day. I do enjoy that.
Texas
Very
Tech,
fun.
Texas with Crabtree. I'll still say it's probably the best regular season and then overall probably top 5 game I've ever watched.
I think it'll be better when Quinn Ewers is back, but Quinn Ewers was not the reason they lost yesterday. The defense that played Alabama was not there in Lubbock.
Nope.
Oregon, Washington State covered. I know it's a big one for you. Oregon may not be awful, but this again shows the disparity between teams and Georgia.
Yes.
I know Georgia didn't play great either this weekend, but I think Georgia's looking ahead.
Yeah.
They were kind of complacent.
A little lesson to the kids: don't post yourself as a winner with 7 minutes left.
Yeah, I know it's significant, Tim Brando. Shut the fuck up. Oh, God. He's in! He's in! He's in! He's in! What did I say? Different Wazoo! Wazoo, motherfucker! Wazoo! Wazoo! Mm. Mm. 4 units. 4. 4. 4.
Rookie move.
7 minutes. That's an eternity.
6.5. They scored to go up 2. They looked great. Tough. I'm just happy we got the cover.
Yeah, you did.
People are getting mad about the quality of the Wi-Fi. My social guys told me when you go live, it gets fucked up.
It does. When you go live,
Maybe
no
Jock
matter what.
McCarthy probably taped this one.
So shut up.
Video credits, Jack.
When you go live, the quality.
So then sorry, Jeff. The underrated funny part of this too is that my basement had some issues, so there's fans running nonstop, so you just hear a murmur like in the background of these power fans drying up the fucking flood.
And then last thing, this Wawa thing. Oh, I'm actually skipping. The United States won the President's Cup.
Yep.
But the bigger story for
USA.
us personally was our cohorts. Riggs, Frankie, and Trent got to meet former President George W. Bush.
Trent fucked it up
Didn't
bad.
really get to meet him though.
Bad.
Trent took the photo of Frankie and GW, and Trent went in for a handshake twice, and George W. Bush looked at him like, my guy.
I thought the plan was I'm going to get a video of Frankie meeting a president, and then that's going to be it. The only person who didn't know about that plan was George W. Bush. So what he thinks is I'm going to meet this guy, and then he's going to want to take a picture of me. So Frankie takes off the hat, shakes the hand of George W. Bush, and at that moment, I think it's over. I think the interaction is about to end. Not to mention that all the Secret Service people are saying, we got to keep it moving. We got to keep it moving. So I'm thinking, all right, their interaction is over. It is now my time to shake the hand of George W. Bush. And as you see on the video, I go for it, and George W. Bush still thinks that a picture is happening with Frankie Borelli, and he goes, "Why don't you snap that son of a gun?"
Snap that son of a gun. Snap that son of a gun.
And as that's happening, you can see in the video, my hand once again enters the frame because I think that the interaction between Frankie and George W. Bush has ended. But George W. Bush wants to take a picture with Frankie Borelli. He will not move towards me until he gets a picture with Frankie. So I then back up, I get them in the frame, and this is the part that I wanted to wait to talk about on the podcast because it's hard to describe on Twitter. People were really laughing at me stopping, holding the video static, and being like, all right, I got the picture. But what actually happened was what you can do now with iPhones is while you're taking a video, they give you the option to snap a bunch of pictures. So I was doing that. I had my wits enough about me, although at this point I am completely blacked out and my brain is melting out of my ears. But I am taking pictures of Frankie and George W. Bush during the video. So I got all those things at once. And then finally, as I take the picture, it's over. George W. Bush walks by me. I just finally, on the third attempt, get a handshake from him, and he goes by me. But it was chaos.
No.
He never gave.
They never connected. And then there's never a connection between those two brains to shake hands. George, I actually can't even watch it. I can't watch this video. I can't watch.
It should just go in a long highlight reel of Trent L's.
No, he gets
known as
it.
his entire life.
Is that not his hand?
He
gets it at the very end, I think.
But that's
Okay.
He stuck his hand out twice for the handshake, and like a wax figure, GW's looking at him like, take the photo.
So,
He got his handshake, right? It's a happy ending to me.
funny story.
He got his handshake.
So me and Trent have this back and forth where like to playfully talk shit to each other, put each other down, and he just got on TikTok. Don't shoot him a follow. He has awful content. And so he keeps saying like, I'm gonna catch you one day, and I say just no chance. So on Thursday or whenever this was, I called him. Just randomly called him. I was like, Trent, like just want to congratulate you. Past the 1,850 follower mark on TikTok. Really fucking killing it, my dude. And just immediately hung up. And then 5 minutes later, I see a video of him shaking hands with a former president of the United States. I was like, damn, he got me here. Like, I might have more TikTok followers, but he did just shake hands with George W. Bush. Point to Trent.
It was funny. Friends of Barstool, Kevin Kisner tweeted. He said,
Friend of the Skip too.
friend of Kirk Minahan. He said something along the lines like, these guys can't keep up with me. Best golfers, worst partiers. And then Max Home, a friend of Part My Take and others, said this morning he was feeling unwell. The USA, they won the President's Cup, which is the significantly weaker of the two cups. The Ryder Cup being much.
I was gonna say, they just alternate every year.
Yeah. Yep. Figured that one out pretty easy.
Makes sense.
And then lastly, a bunch of teens destroyed a Wawa in Philadelphia, which really ties into the fact that I'm going to tell you to go buy tickets to see The Dozen live in Philadelphia on October 4th, Tuesday night next week.
Rejuvenate the economy.
We'll be getting the
Rejuvenate
rundown.
the economy,
The
though.
QR code. They can scan it and buy tickets. I'll make sure to send that over to you. This video is very funny, though. They're ransacking this Wawa, and there's a female patron at the counter basically saying, like, are you going to make sandwiches? Isn't that why you're here right now? Yeah, the workers, and they're like, yeah, it's going to be a delay for a minute. They're just destroying this Wawa.
I mean, unless they were going to stop too many teens to stop. Unless you plan on stopping them, you might as well keep making the sandwiches.
You might as well just make the sizzly, put it on the counter, and walk out.
You've got a lot of unsatisfied customers. You don't want to add 2 more to that crowd.
Did they say why they did this?
Hijinks.
Yeah, rowdy teen hijinks.
Nothing like a keg party in the woods and
What are you
ransacking
throwing
a
this
Wawa.
stuff? If you're gonna ransack, take stuff. Don't throw it. So many good options.
I don't understand
how many
why.
tasty cakes you can take.
Is there any explanation as to why they chose to do this, or? Long voice concerns over safety, lack of support, causing headaches for everyone.
Silly. Can't have nice things.
Yeah.
Do we have to start arming Wawa cashiers? let's have the debate.
Yeah, it was a wild video, but that girl being like, make the fucking sandwich. What are we doing here? Like I know they're ransacking your store. Make the sandwich. The guy's like,
I'm kind of on her side.
Yeah, I mean, if you're standing behind there, like you may as well whip up the sandwich.
Yeah.
What if the person became a legend by just whipping up hundreds of sandwiches and banding the teens together? Again, buy tickets, see the dozen in Philadelphia at the Met. Tommy will be there.
Defending champs.
Defending champion, Uptown Balls. Rico not, but he'll be in Boston.
Yep.
November 29th in Boston. Those tickets not on sale. Anything else?
Never will be, or?
A dozen next week.
I asked Jeff to go to lunch in Boston way in advance. He already shot me down.
I didn't say that.
What do you mean, like that day?
I don't have time. I have makeup. I have a haircut. I have rehearsal.
say
He
that.
has 4 excuses already lined up.
I think you and I are going to go into the Minute show.
I didn't know I was that. I didn't know I was that toxic.
I think you and I are going on.
Can't do a lunch. Guy can't
show
do a
that
lunch.
day. Bring it
All right,
early
great.
enough.
Yeah, I would gladly welcome the opportunity to be on Kirk Manahan's show, and I would never try to use it as a platform to leave to go to somewhere else. But that's just me.
It's so funny doing the rundown. If anything about Clemmer comes up, his face sits in between the wires of the TV, and you just see him.
He looks so much, especially today with the beard.
He's a film guy. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Rico called the Euro Trip a film. Thumbs up, thumbs down.
Film? I don't call it film, like it.
I just said thumbs up, thumbs down. He gave it like a shaky.
All right, that's good rundown.
I think Robbie said this originally, maybe. So it could have been someone else. He looks so much like Mr. Crocker from Fairly Odd Parents.
He does.
Was it you that said that, Robbie?
He does.
That Clemmer looks like Mr. Crocker from Fairly Odd Parents. Yeah.
Yep. All right, good rundown.
The rundown.
Is it Crocker? Crockett?